So remember my campaign slogan? Demand Daniel, baby. I told you you're going to have to start demanding. People didn't listen to me at first. I remember telling you, let me take you back in time. A lot of my core team, they need to hear this because they've been with me since the beginning. Back in about September, August timeframe of last year, we started getting an indication from our rhino and fake Republicans in Arizona that they were going to start passing these laws that are known as red flag laws. Does anybody know what these are now? Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You're never going to let the government take your guns? Okay. We started to notice last year that in Arizona, if we have Republicans so bold, if we have Republicans so embrazened that they're allowed to take guns in Arizona, folks, we got a big problem. Okay? So what we did was we said, what are we going to do about it? We said, well, the last option I have, the only option I have is to run for political office because no one's listening. Okay? People told me, they said, Daniel, they will never, ever let you in. They control those machines. Daniel, they will never, ever allow you in Washington, D.C. They don't let guys like you in there. They said, Daniel, do not go. I said, that's not why we're running for office. We're running for office because we're in a war. We're running for office because right now the United States is in the middle of a war. And I told my people, I said, what we're going to do is we're going to travel around the state and we're going to educate everyone on what these red flag laws are fast. We are going to tell them. Some of you seen it. I took my RV, my family RV. It used to be fun to take my family out before all this, you know. We took my family RV. We slapped 2 AR-15s on it. And we started driving around this state, talking to every Republican that would listen to us, any Democrat that would listen to us. And I started telling everybody, you better stop that state legislator. You better stop that governor. I don't care if they're your best friend. If they talk about red flag laws, you better run them out of this state, and you better run them out now. Okay? Guess what happened? We pushed back. We started pushing back. We started to work. It started to happen. Guess what happened? Next thing you know, there was too much political pressure on it. Those little cockroaches in that building over there, they scurried out of there, and they never even thought about putting that bill on the table. Right? All right. We have a new mission now. Shortly after, speed you up to March, all of a sudden we got hit with an attack. The coronavirus is an attack on your country. That attack on your country. That attack on your country. Let me explain this to you. That attack is a man-made attack, and they are interfering with God's will. This country will not succumb to that type of treatment from any country ever. This is not Venezuela, this is not China, and this is certainly not Russia, folks. Let me tell you this right now. The political pressure that these people will experience from this point forward is something that never has been seen before in Arizona. Mark my words. Mark my words. Physical pressure! So, what happened in March was this. We said, we're under an attack. I said to my team, listen to me, I don't care about a United States Senate race. I don't care about a governor. I don't care about any race. What I care about is we need to quickly gather the hearts and minds of every single Arizonan that's ready to listen to us. And we did. We started to work. Next thing you know, we had thousands of people down here saying that we need to reopen our businesses now. Folks, this has been going on for far too long. We started coming down here in March, folks. We've been starting to come down here in March, folks. Now, the governor, let's fast forward. Now, as of, this is 2 days ago or 3 days ago, the governor had the kahunas to look at you and your families in the eyes and say, if you don't wear the Star of David, if your business personnel doesn't use a muzzle on their face, we can shut them down. And let me tell you something, that does not work here in Arizona. No more attempting to shut down our businesses. That's the pursuit of happiness. That is a God-given right that every single one of you have. There is no more talk of sticking needles in our people's arms. You are in a war, folks, and if you don't want to admit to it, that's your own problem. But let me tell you something. Take your head out of the sand and understand you're in the middle of it, whether you like it or not. So what is our next steps? What do we do from here? It's a question I always get. It's Daniel, what do we do from here? What do we do from here? Well, finally, the President of the United States acknowledged the war that we're in, at least in Arizona, didn't he? We knew in August, when the vote was cheated from us, that the vote was going to be cheated from him. We didn't have time to take a break. We went to work. So now here we are, folks. They've muzzled your family. They've muzzled your employers. They've muzzled you. They want to stick needles in your arms. They've got FEMA camps, and you've got the most corrupt politicians in the world. What are we going to do with the time that we have? We're looking at for political options. That's all we're trying to do.
1776. That's right.
Listen to me. My job for you as Arizona, my job for you is to do everything in my power to represent you in a way that we can peacefully come to a solution. There are only a few ways now to come to a peaceful resolution.
A few!
And I'm going to share with you what they are.
Yeah, they're running out.
Yeah. The Secretary of State of this state and our governor, Doug Ducey, need to resign or they need to be impeached right now. These two individuals have knowingly, and the president has told us now that he knows it. The president needs us to fight for him, and we need them out of office immediately. I am calling as an Arizona citizen, rightfully I can, I'm calling for the resignation of Doug Ducey and Katie Hobbs immediately. We are way bigger than they are, I promise you. And it's time for them to understand that we are on to them. And the jig is up. So, what we're going to be doing here is this. We are going to be working with the state legislators. There's 90 of them. Believe it or not, we have 3 so far brave legislators. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of pressure on these guys, okay? We have Walt Blackman, we have Warren Peterson, and we have Kevin Payne. All right, those 3 individuals out of the 90 have signed what's called a letter of intent, okay? That letter of intent needs to be signed by as many of them as possible. We need more than 11 of them, okay? We're going to take that letter of intent, once we have those signatures on that, and we're going to encourage the rest of the 90 to come on board with us, okay? We're going to be then reshaping that document into any type of document that the government needs to see. A declaration, you want to call it on the back of a napkin, I don't care what you want to call it, okay? I don't care. We're going to have these 11 plus legislators sign on the line, and then we're going to send that to Washington, D.C. that's saying that Arizona state legislators want different electorals for our president now. The president of the United States needs your help.
Yes. And he's got it.
I'm going to read this to you, and I need you to understand how important what it is I'm going to say to you. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Arizona, I pledge to you my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor. I will do whatever you need me to do to make sure my kids are never sentenced to communism. I know that all of you will do the same.
Yeah.
So here we go from here. We're asking for an impeachment hearing for these 2 tyrants sitting inside that building. It's time to take Arizona back into the possession of the Patriots. And it's time to do it now.
That's right.
Folks, there is not much time left. We have next week, and there's going to be a lot of things that need to happen. What I need all of you to understand is that your voices matter. Your physical presence matters. I want to reference to the fact that we had 2 individuals that were arrested here the other day out of the House building. Did anybody see some of that footage that happened? All right. Those 2 brave individuals by the name of Brian and Josephine, they were taken, unfortunately, because of a trespassing on the House building. I will tell you that we sat there all day very peaceably. We sat there and tried to demonstrate to the public that there's not many options left. I'm going to continue to do everything I can to voice that to Arizonans and say there's not many political options left. I'm doing everything I can politically, everything, and that's what I'll continue to do. I would never advocate for violence. There are no plans other than peaceable protest. There are no plans other than peaceable things, okay? But let me tell you something. You guys and I know what the deal is, okay? And let me tell you something. There will never be FEMA camps that our people have to go to. And let me tell you something, folks. If you just let them roll you over, they will do it. Trust me, they will do it to you next. If we keep on complying, if you just sit down and do nothing, they'll do it. I'm telling you. In China, you're only allowed to have a knife about that big, folks. So this is no game. So what I'm trying to is this. Those two individuals that were arrested the other day were peaceably protesting. They meant, is she right here, Josephine? What a hero. Where's Joseph? Where's she? Right here. I spoke with Josephine yesterday, and I said, "Did anybody beat you up? Did anybody?" And what I'll tell you is that the treatment that Josephine, how she was treated, will be addressed. The individuals that were involved we will talk to these individuals. Folks, this is what's happening. The culture of your government's bad. It no longer serves you like it's supposed to. You need individuals that are public servants. You don't need politicians. You need public servants. Okay? You need individuals not here for the money. That's what we had with Donald Trump. Donald Trump gave us our identity back. Okay? Now you got to deal with guys like me. Right? So here's where we're at. I want to talk about this with Josephine really quick. Yesterday I spoke to Josephine and I said, Josephine, did they treat you bad? What did they do to you? There was some, a little aggressive at times, I think. She said, Daniel, I just want you to know this. There's nothing they can do to turn my eyes away from Jesus Christ. She says, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. That's what we need, heroes like that right there. Okay? Brian was also released. Our patriots are now under attack. And you all came here today because you wanted to say to us, and you said, hey, we support you, we have your six. And that's what I needed, right here. I needed as many people as possible. We need you to continue to come as many times as you possibly can. Because like our founders finally came to the conclusion, I want to read it to you again, folks. When our founders finally came to this conclusion, they realized that they were going to have to mutually pledge. Think about that. They were going to have to mutually pledge to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors. So that's the world we're now living in again. We have to commit to each other. We will do whatever it takes to make sure that government does not go tyrannical in this in the state or in this country. Okay? And I assure you there are good people working on this.